The premise is pretty much the same as the first. If you've seen my other review, then this might be a bit redundant, but I'm doing it anyway. Basically, you're the headliner, the person in charge of selecting which stories run on the TV station where you work. You're given several stories, and based on the headline and a small blurb, you select which to run. You can use this to promote whatever you want, for whatever reason you want, from products to immigration and health issues. Keep in mind, anything you run affects the world. There's a bit of role-playing required. The mechanics are also taken straight from the previous headliner, and still as much fun to play. Being able to control the papers and stack them is great. It's very reminiscent of Papers, Please, and you even get to stamp them to approve. There's a lot of different stories, and from what I can tell, there are multiple headlines for the same issue. This means a second and even third playthrough is a lot more interesting. And I did really enjoy my second playthrough. Anyway, you can see and feel the effects of your chosen headlines in a couple ways. Now, the most obvious one is at work. Depending on the stories you run, it can help or hurt the channel. Maybe you'll run more ads or attack the government. You do get a salary, so it could even hit your pocket. No one wants that. Also, you can see the effect in the people you talk to. Your coworker, brother, and local shopkeep, to name a few. They'll give their reasons for their stance on the issues. Maybe hoping to sway you into running certain headlines, or maybe just hearing them out will influence you. Either way, it can provide a more personal view into the world. The last way you can see the effects is through your own eyes. On your walk home from work, you'll see a lot. From the way the streets are filled, the buildings changing, and even events. You can feel the effect of time, and I noticed that as I was playing, I could tell each day I played wasn't consecutive. Also, the surprises in the game. Now, I can't ruin these because it's a big part of why I like the game so much. Sorry. They are done quite well, and I found them to be incredibly interesting, which means the plot is more thought-provoking as well and held my attention. Side note, one new feature of Novinews is your apartment. You live alone this time, but the store sells all kinds of items to personalize it. For example, a mirror or sofa. Some of these can be interacted with to provide slightly more characterization to the main character, but it's pretty simple and definitely doesn't provide a ton of information. I still enjoyed spending money and choosing what could go in my home. Anyway, I think the new stories are interesting, and I like how the game doesn't take a stance on them. It offers up both sides, and you can do your job. There are different endings depending on which stories you pick. I can't really say that there's a quote-unquote good ending. They're just different. I really don't think Novinews is making any political points, so if you were worried about that, don't be. This is more about how the news is selected and delivered to you. Do you consider how much clickbait there really is? Now, as for my criticisms of the other game, most of that is taken care of. The increase in characters and stories is much more entertaining. They did include the outside influences that I really wanted to see. However, there isn't much to force your hand. Any decisions you make are not really challenging, or even when the game tries to limit you, it's still in a way that isn't limiting at all. I was always able to run the news stories I wanted to. Overall, Headliner Novinews is a fun game and I like it. It has a better plot, more characters, and more interesting things to do in the world. The visual improvements don't hurt either. Even though the world's issues are pretty much the same, I still enjoyed stamping the stories. Talking to more characters really helps flesh out the world, and I felt like I understood it better. You're going to have to trust me that there are surprises in the game I can't talk about that are amazing. I do recommend it though, I had a good time playing it. Clearly more of a narrative-focused game if you're into those.
Hey, thanks for watching. I put together a small playlist of my reviews for games that I really enjoyed. Check that one out if you're new to the channel.